we saw AL in the last series. They were also BLG's last opponent too. AL took a game off of both JDG and BLG. So if you think that, oh, maybe BLG, they're losing a bit of their momentum, maybe it's just AL being good. Even though our top teams have dropped some games to them, you're coming in.
That's literally it. It does feel like they're a little bit maybe, I don't want to say uninspired, but definitely feeling as if they're kind of coming out of this from a little bit of an unfortunate position. There's a nice little lollipop right on top of Elk, who again has no summoners underneath the tower. It's a perfectly executed lane gank, and that is
heading back towards this bot side again. The scene of that crime. Summoners back up and available for Elk. No heal, rather. They have the cleanse and flash.
Yeah, they have the cleanse and flash, but no way is on getting away from that one there. Nicely done here by Yao Yao to make
play. TT, they're just abusing that right now.
I think should get level 6 if he's able to take that scuttle. He's going for a bit of an aggressive engage. Yukal coming down here though with Yao Yao to try and make it work. Flash in with the Tibbers onto On, who does have his flash still on this one here. Flash belly pop onto Yukal as it's a very scrappy 4v3. Kind of in favor of TTs. They're coming out with the better health bars right now. Yugao looking for a little bit of those cooldowns to see if he can maybe turn this one back around. He will kill off Yukal just before he goes down himself, but it's a 1-for-1 trade.
This is some seriously rocket.
They're marking the LPL.
Firing that all again, just trying to chunk out someone so they can finally play aggressive, having to blow everything.
Yeah, blue a cleanse and the flash. They're going to see the hook come in, but that's a great tidal wave to disengage.
Teleport.
Now, yeah, it's a little overextended. TP coming in. A flash in to get the kick away. Going to be a knock up, and they're going to try and take out this Nautilus. It's taking forever. And as well as that, the Malphite's been left in no man's land. You could see that Elkanon kind of looked at him for a second and went, maybe next time, buddy. And they backed themselves away. It was a TP invested by Yukal, but at the end...
is positioning particularly in these fights right now. He has himself an army buffs.
Indeed, first dragon for TT, not of the game. Yeah, going to be the first focus here. Does eventually go down, but it is traded back for the Wukong. That's a fantastic cast to catch out 1XM, but he's got red and white, so he's going to be able to heal up and get some decent damage down in those very short corridors. They're trying to see if they can catch out the Nami, and they will. 5-3 now on this play. 2 kills in favor of 1 for TT. So no flash kick coming in. It looks like BLG want to try and contest this. They should be able to. This Rift Herald not taken very low until right now. Here we go. It's going to be taken down. Not quite sure who got that particular objective. With everybody backing away from BLG, it looks like it was secured by the side of TT. As Yao Yao goes forward to try and maybe catch out Sean, bonks him on the head just with a little bit more damage, and now you can see they're all kind of running away because Yao Yao realizes he's bitten off a little more than he could chew. Flash over by the Lee Sin to try and make something work there. Try and make sure they get themselves that flash back up and available. No flash for Yao Yao as we look for a full engage here. Hoya seeing if he can be a bit more aggressive, but he's being aggressed right back on top of it. Gets burnt down so easy. Now Yao Yao has to try and run away. He just got his flash back off cooldown, but wasn't just enough, and that's going to be 2. Swift Yugao just has to be a bit more respectful, but while this is all happening in the mid lane, nobody goes down, and that's going to be the Dragon confirmed.
Dragon confirmed, and
a hell of a lot of damage as he's Kraken Slayer in his back pocket. Bot lane turret gets confirmed by Hoya, while the mid lane in favor. BLG, they just know how to play these teams. They know how to play these fights.
Absolutely, and you know what? We're actually going to be seeing JDG, BLG
Wait and see. Still plenty for TT to do. Remember, still have themselves a Yukal as Elk gets caught out here by the ultimate of the Nautilus. The tidal wave ain't going to save you from all that burst. This is exactly what I was just about to talk about. Yukal with that Tibbers can do it.
He started reaching back-to-back finals, suddenly started to ramp up his performance more and more. On this Gragas, maybe he can set up his team for success. The flash doesn't quite work.
No, but it does force out the flash there from Elk. But now you've left yourself in a bad position. They can turn this fight right the way around. Bin with the unstoppable force finds 3 onto the backside. And that is the carry Bin performance we've been waiting for. He's been a bit silent this game, but this particular play was
I think they have this.
They might have it, but do they have the fight afterwards? Yukal can TP in afterwards. There it is. So you're going to have Hoya and 1XN there before anybody else. So it's a 3v5 for the moment, but BLG still waiting on summoners and cooldowns. There's a good explosive cast to catch out Yukal, who has the proto belt backwards as Elk goes a little bit more aggressive. He knows he's not in any real danger without the Nautilus being here. Now it's a full native 5v5. These health bars going a lot lower for the side of TT than they are for BLG. Bin goes in again and finds himself a 2-man knockup. Back-to-back fights. It's Gigabin making sure that BLG know how to take these fights. It's going to be a 5-for-1, and that is BLG 100% on the board.
It is a valiant game. Try and hit BLG early and then match them in the team fights, but they just can't do it. BLG, their solo laners coming out with some back-to-back big plays in back-to-back big fights. The Baron's gone, the map's falling apart, and despite the game being close in team fights up until this point, BLG have now found themselves the first real advantage of this game.
Again, how do you come back into this with TT? We're all full of praise, and rightfully so, for the side of BLG.
Off this defense, they're trying to break this siege as best they can, weather it, but BLG, they're not letting up.
No, they really aren't. That's going to be the inhibitor turret down. Maybe look for an explosive cast there. Hoya, the tank of your team, almost taken out there by Elk. Finally has himself a mythic into that Gale Force, but having this crit build doing so much right now. That extra range with the Nami just basically bursting out the tank. I mean, this is BLG's game. It's their game to lose, and now we're going to see TT getting caught out. They're going to see a good kick. It lands on the 3 people, but you can see already the damage from this Grag is going to put out the explosive cast to try and catch out Hoya, but he flashes away after the fact. Nobody goes down, but health bars are starting to dwindle.
TT have, whoa, there we go, that's the ult.
Yeah, there it is. Bin finds himself on the Yao Yao. You would argue it's not the priority target, but they don't care because they're going to take out Hoya. That is your front line dead and buried. 1xN almost going down here. Not quite able to be hit by the last drink of the Gragas. Finally will get hit by the belly bop and finished off by the Lucian. That's going to be game 1 going over to BLG as they continue to look for a perfect series and continue their undefeated series split in the regular split.
BLG should consider renaming themselves to Lightning because Thunder comes second to them. ThunderTalk Gaming, they tried as they might in the early game and in the team fights, but they just could not face off against BLG.
No, they really, really couldn't. And honestly, love the aggression coming out from TT right at the beginning. They really, really forced to try and, you know, make the
of spring. The first half of that of regular season, we were like, okay, they're a bit inconsistent. We've got a couple of teams which are figuring things out. They had to go through a coaching change before they went into playoffs. They brought in Tabe, a player, which, or rather a coach, which has had so many successes over different rosters. And they go from, what, 5th, 6th in regular season to right up towards the top of the table. And Sad Rome, he's close enough to interpret this gang right now, and On has now arrived.
Here we go, but it gets caught up here by a little bit of a hook. You can see that Yagao just flashing away, but then straight away going back into the fight because his support is here. A 3v3 means that On picks up the first blood. And like I said, if you want to get deep in the sauce...
With some lethality, but being put behind in that gold really doesn't help this pick get off the ground.
No, I see double knock-up. No Q to land here for Yao Yao, which means he's going to take a fair chunk of damage. Not the greatest of gun combinations, but they're making it work as they're trying to swap it off. Not quite able to get that last kill going for themselves. The feathers fly. L goes in, but he will not be going down. On saves his 80 carry, and this support gold, but it isn't into a Xayah. It's not into the Annie. It's probably one of the least impactful roles to kind of get it. Such a difficult champion to know how he's coming into the fight.
There you go. Doesn't have his mid jungle this time.
Does not, and he's got bursted out. That's going to be a very easy kill there. Just cost the flash and alive in that mid lane.
I mean, the weapon combination was good, using the Onslaught of the Severum to get towards your rifle afterwards. Still need to hit your skill shots though. Doesn't get away with that one. Jungle from TT, they've spotted On, and they have teleports on Hoya and Yukal. That helps too.
That does help, and they CC him down for the moment. That's going to be a shutdown going over to the side of the Rek'Sai. Remember, On picked up 2 kills. That is the Rek'Sai ultimate. They used the flash from Yao Yao on top of that as well. So now we'll see if they want to try and look for a contest. You can see they want to try and delay this a little bit, keep BLG honest. But it's difficult to try and really walk into this, especially with On and Bin just kind of playing keep away. And they know that Elk has a Gravitum, but never mind. They're going to go for a fight straight off the bat. That's an Infernum with the Gravitum ultimate. That's going to be a trade back for Elk. It's a dragon kill and a kill for the Aphelios, which is not a great trade. Okay, well, we've gone from being scrappy and looking for aggressive plays, just straight up housing out in the mid lane and trying to go around as 5. Hoya will get knocked back, but I mean, again, you were posturing, you were moving around, and this honestly is kind of...
Need to find an important angle here, TT.
They're creeping forward. See now the Rek'Sai over the backside. They're going to jump straight in on top of him, though. On looking to try and catch out the Rek'Sai, who does have a tunnel to get back out. There's going to be a great little ultimate there on top of Yao Yao, but he blocks it away from getting on top of anybody else. The health bar is still very much in favor of BLG right now. Yao Yao's going to be the first one to go down. Elk flashes and cleanses away. These health bars are so low now. 1xN needs to put in the work, but he's being taken out by the Dragon, the secret 6th man of BLG. Bin going in to try and catch out 1xN, who is unafraid. Yukal takes down Shun, trying to see if the feathers can go back, and these health bars are so low. It's engaged this.
BLG don't have a smite. TT would love to get in range for a steal. They need to try and contest this still.
They need to try and contest it. The Dragon going down 2-1. There it goes. Now the fight can really re-engage. Oh, Hoya doesn't get the CC down onto Elk, who now with the red and white, he wants to fight. Not going to be able to do anything else there with that Poppy. And TT unfortunately looked to try and go for it. Like he said,
with a punch. and then you reset the fight without some important things. We've got the Baron starting up in picture though. Now there's a potential to steal.
It's 50-50, 50-50, never mind, they don't want a 50-50 yet, they want to go straight back in on top of the Rek'Sai, and that means Shun can secure, but will they be able to get the Aphelios out? No, they won't. Elk has gone down, now 1xN is the carry, but he's been dead already. Yagao will get taken out. It's a very scrappy affair, and it's Shun versus the TT mid laner and support. He's going to go in, Bramble Smash and a smite down. That's the power of a full AP Maokai. It's scrappy, but it's BLG's home, and they... It does feel like we're kind of adding them to the roster and kind of saying like, oh, you know, this is now becoming a pseudo super team just in its own right because of these names, and here we go. They're going to try and get the Keeper's Verdict to try and knock out On, but he shall still get his man as Yao goes down to Yagao. And this is just getting harder and harder for TT. I don't think they can hold.
He doesn't have cast in the top side, but has a flash. He should be safe here. And TT, once again, really struggling to land any meaningful damage in these fights. They're getting body blocked. They're not reaching their targets. They can't even defend their inhibitor.
No, they're aimless. They're just BLG don't even have to go for this if they don't want to. That's the scary thing here. On just trying to bait out as many people as he possibly can. Baits out Hoya. We'll see them trying to jump in on the bin, but he's already got himself a nice explosive cast. Have a drink on me, buddy. Shun gets up the kill onto Yao, who's unfortunately been a little bit of a pinata in this game. Hoya trying to see if he can go in there. The Rek'Sai can get over the wall. They do have vision on it right now. We're going to see a little bit of engage. Yagao there trying to see if he can maybe just wait. He's holding on. Shall not be killed a second time this game. There's going to be the Hex Soul now confirmed for BLG. This slows the damage. And now Yagao coming in to make sure he can make this fight work. Going to jump straight in on top of the AD carry and going to lose his GA. But 1xN, look, it's flashy. I appreciate the effort, but a triple kill for Elk shall be the icing on the cake of this BLG 2-0.
Out of the water in spring at MSI and now in summer sitting firmly at the top of the table.
6-0 going into their series versus JDG this weekend. You can't ask for better form than that. They are just waiting for this game to be over. They are waiting for one more KDA. Yagao with a big smile on his face. And that is BLG 2-0 making quick work of TT.
We really have to revisit how we talk about these players on BLG. We've done it a couple of times this year, but I think considering how, you know, in spring we went into playoffs and we expected them to lose to RNG, then we expected them to lose to Weibo, and then, I mean, in fairness, we did expect them to lose to JDG, but we